Lois Lane makes out with the Justice League because you, the viewer, demanded it. I can truly say that because some people posted the cover in the community tab. But this has also been on my list to cover for a while. Also, forgive my voice, I'm sick. This story comes from a fun issue that actually has more than one interesting story inside of it. We'll start with this one, but we may have to come back for when Lois Lane pretends to be Lorelei LaRue. I'm Sasha, this is Casually Comics, and it's time for some Silver Age shenanigans. But before we dive in, I'm happy to say that this video is sponsored by Global Comics. Global Comics is a digital entertainment platform that is host to many comics. They're across multiple genres from multiple companies, and they're always updating and changing what's available. And in general, there's just a plethora to choose from. They do utilize a subscription-based model, but there's also the option to purchase. All the comics can be read through the app, including on offline mode. You can curate a library, there's a community aspect where you can talk about what you're reading. In general, it's a great app if you love comics and are curious to just check out what's out there, especially across a wide array of different books. You can cast back to the past, there's a lot of classics on there, there's a lot of the current contemporary time recording things coming out. A lot of the releases have panel-to-panel reading format. I use it all the time as a way to check out things that I'm curious about, cast back to read some past favorites. Personally, I've discovered a lot of series through there and been able to give a chance and look at some things that I might not have otherwise. Since I've gotten it, it's become one of my most frequently used apps. You can of course sign up for free, but if you are interested in a membership, you can use my code GCXCasually for a 1-year membership at $59.99 and exclusive discounts on a la carte purchases. To me, it's been well worth it, and if it sounds like something that might be for you, I'll have the link down below. And of course, if not, that's fine too. Now we have to move on to Lois shenanigans. This issue is not on there, but several others are, including some that we've covered, like the first official imaginary tale. This story we're about to look at is not imaginary, and it's from Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, number 29, from the year 1961, and we're gonna be looking at the third story. It's called The Irresistible Lois Lane, which is written by Robert Bernstein and has art by Kurt Swan and inks by Stan Kay. So we're getting some classic Superman art for this Lois tale of her making out with all his friends. Not all of them, some of them. The dream of any girl's life is to be kissed by a superhero, and Lois Lane is no exception. However, when in the course of one afternoon, Lois is kissed by 3 superheroes like Green Arrow, Aquaman, and Batman, it's no wonder that her arch rival Lana Lang must conclude with envy that the impulsive girl reporter has become the irresistible Lois Lane. That's what the girls are dreaming about? My dreams are wrong again. Also, look, that guy's filming it. The story itself opens with Lois receiving a surprise bouquet. But before she can really look at it, she's called away to the window because Crypto is out there skywriting and he's writing the letter L. Probably the first letter that Superman taught him. But Lois is pulled away from that too because Perry needs a scoop. Superman hasn't done anything lately and Clark Kent is on vacation, and those are 2 completely unrelated things. Does Lois have a story? Well, he's in luck because she's got something she's been saving for just this occasion. Well, I've been flirting with an idea for a feature. Heroes I've Kissed by Lois Lane. You know the different heroes I've kissed? Not counting Superman. Not a bad idea. Go to work on them, I mean it. I think Perry's a little too into this story. He too wants to know who is the best superhero kisser. Shortly, as Lois goes home to dress for her assignment, what I need is man bait, a dress that can hug the curves. Drenched with perfume, this number might raise even Superman's temperature. Drenched in perfume sounds like she's about to dump it in a bathtub. That's gonna keep Superman and his super smell far away from her. Or maybe she'll spray a tiny bit of Axe and walk through it. Same effect. Is this how the author assumes women pick their dresses based on man bait ability? I mean, not every day. There's gonna be some elements of the story that come across as leaving the general realm of fantasy of, oh, people wanna look nice and those kind of things, then applying that specifically to women, wanting to be desired and all that. But then there comes points where it seems like projectionist fantasy, veering into, I hope this is what women are thinking, because it means they like it when I hoot at them out of a car window. I'm sorry, tweet at them. That truck driver yells tweet at Lois. I think it's meant to be a whistle, like soon. My hair looks attractive, my makeup is on right for a change, and my lips look inviting. That's part of the makeup. All I need now is the man, or rather, the men. Ugh. I actually really do like the dress. Damn you, Kurt Swan. Also insert your Silver Age Lois is for the streets jokes. I know some of you are thinking them, but I'm down below. Also, huge missed opportunity for her manhunt not to include Martian Manhunter. The first on her makeout quest is Green Arrow. Shortly at Metropolis Stadium, Green Arrow is putting on a demonstration of archery skill as the main attraction of the national contest. He's got millions of female fans who'd be eager to learn how he kisses, and I'm sure some male ones too. Also, keep this specific thought balloon in your pocket. Put it in your back pocket, save it for later. Or your front pocket, your cape pocket, wherever you got pockets. Why is Lois breaking her neck to help Green Arrow, unless she's up to something? Usually she's never dressed to kill this time of day. She's normally dressed to kill later at night. Lois volunteers to be part of the act that Green Arrow is putting on. I really hope at no point I've said Green Lantern. That happens to me sometimes. I see green and my mind goes lantern, like one of those association tests. Here are 4 aces, Miss Lane. When I give the signal, throw the cards into the air. With pleasure, Green Arrow. I've been online too long, and even though I know the slang is newer, I'm looking at her pearl necklace. But the story wants you to do that because she's about to tear it off when she's distracted by how good of a shot Green Arrow is when he hits all those cards. I tore my pearl necklace. I'll lose all those carefully matched pearls. Don't worry, Miss Lane. I'll fire one of my special shafts, a vacuum arrow. It has a helicopter-like device that makes it hover over one spot till all the pearls are sucked into the vacuum. Gosh, what a fantastic arrow. That arrow is so fantastic, it prompts her to hug and kiss him. I mean, the pearls were expensive, but were they assault him on camera expensive? Good grief, she's kissing him! Holy cats, now he's kissing her! He must like it! Something's crazy here. Heroes like Green Arrow don't act like that in public. Lana really hopes they act like that in private, though. There's just something about that whole, look, he must like it line that just... it sits on the skin. It's coupled with his wide, unblinking eyes in the last panel. Uncomfortable. So we really need to hammer home that he's into it because he asks her for even more kisses and she's just missed because there's lipstick all over. He has to wipe it away with a handkerchief. That was quite a show, Lois. Do you figure you'll make Superman jealous when he hears about this? Oh. Were you watching, Lana? Amazing levels of passive aggressiveness aside, he's not only going to hear about it, he is going to see it because it was filmed. He's going to see it in glorious 16mm or 35. I'm not sure if they were filming this for a cinema newsreel or not. Next up, Aquaman. And despite Lana being annoyed with Lois, she does give her a ride to the next location when they hear that Aquaman is saving people off of a cruise ship. Betty and Veronica energy. As the king of the sea and his firefighters swing into action, his octopi are staring into my soul. Lois is all over Aquaman when he gets to shore. Superman is a fool to neglect you. Kiss me again. Lois is just got bad aim. Look, she's just all over the bottom of his face. Oh, by the way, if you're heading uptown, be a dear and take me along. I hear Batman is in town and I'm anxious to meet him. To sample his kissing technique, no doubt. Really, Lois? You've got more crust than a pie. I love that expression, and now I really need an occasion to tell somebody that they have more crust than a pie. And it could happen, because what it means is that the person has a lot of nerve. The gall. It's to connote that someone's really assertive in a negative way. Think of the affront, that kind of thing. If you could say, well, I never, maybe you could say, more crust than a pie. Let's bring it back. Now, when they get uptown, Batman is stopping the world's most oblivious criminals. They aren't aware that there's a whole crowd beneath them, including a news camera, as they're preparing to rob a theater. Now, of all of them, Batman is the only one it seems to initiate after the hug. Makes sense. We've read those imaginary stories where she marries Bruce/Batman instead. I always love the fit on 70s Bruce. But after Batman's kiss, we see him assemble with Aquaman and Green Arrow, and they both give him their handkerchiefs, and he takes them, but not for his trophy room. He's off, but where? He's on a secret mission to save Superman, who's in a kryptonite trap near his fortress being menaced by aliens. Other aliens. So Batman tosses those hankies down to him and he just rubs them all over his face. Really, he batarangs them down. Those lipstick stains. I must smear my face with them. As I hoped, I've made an instant recovery. Now to warn those aliens in their own language that unless they go back to their world, never to return, I'll destroy them. So what does all this mean? What was truly going on? Now for one thing, there is always the chance that this was one of those the cover came first, then the author kind of had to figure it out. Mort Weisinger, the editor, would do that. Julia Schwartz would do it later too. But inside what's going on is that all of this was an elaborate ruse. It started from when Lois got the bouquet, but let's quickly take it from when she saw the L in the sky, because the L is a special alert for her specifically, a secret plan that Superman has just for her. Plan L is to be carried out by me only when you're in dire peril from green kryptonite near the Fortress of Solitude, but nowhere else and no other colors. It's very specific. The idea was to rush to you some grains of red kryptonite I always carry in a lead capsule in my purse. Red kryptonite always has a different, unpredictable effect on you, but this particular type acts as an instant cure for green kryptonite. We know because it once saved Krypto from kryptonite poisoning. Aquaman's face says, I wish this story was over. I miss my fish. Now the explanation, it actually does work based on the rules of Red K, because while it impacted Krypto the one time, it didn't impact Superman, so it could work this one time for him. Now back to the bouquet. When Lois got it, she saw that there was an eyeball at the bottom of the vase, and that's why she looked so taken aback when she first got it. This is one of those stories where you could not have guessed this outcome because you were not provided all the clues, and the story did not want you to. It just wants you to be surprised. That can range from c'est la vie to frustrating, especially if one is actually trying to guess what the mystery could be, because by this point, a lot of these stories would have a kind of, I bet you didn't see that coming ending, because one was meant to be thinking, just what was Lois's angle? She just wouldn't wander around and kiss all these Justice League members, of course not. That would be silly, especially because she wasn't trying to make Superman jealous. Then we could have believed it. Now when Lois sees the eye on the vase, she automatically jumps to, it must be one of Superman's enemies spying on her. That coupled with the L in the sky means it's time to implement the plan. Therefore, I hit on a scheme to avoid their suspicions. I broke open the lead capsule inside my purse and used my lipstick to pick up the grains of red kryptonite, like dipping a celery stick in salt. I'm so glad that analogy was there, otherwise how would people understand that a sticky lipstick could pick up crystals? Also, that leap in logic for what she had to do from Lois was Herculean. And before you ask, yes, this was the only solution. Nobody else could have gone and taken out the aliens or moved the kryptonite. Lois definitely couldn't have gone to the other Leaguers and just given them the capsule. The only solution was to her to infuse the lipstick and make out with them. She saved Superman's life. She's a hero. And Perry's gonna have a great article, and that's just a lovely side effect. She does tell the Leaguers as she's making out with them, A, that they need to implement this plan, also that the aliens must be watching them. That's just a thing she says. There's no evidence of that at all, or that the aliens were ever spying on her in the first place. Maybe that's one of her other stalkers. I also told him and Aquaman where to rendezvous with Batman, since he's the only one who knows the secret location of the fortress. After this clinch, meet Aquaman and Green Arrow and scrape off the lipstick I've planted on each of you. It contains red K crystals. Another thing to think about is, Lois not knowing the location of the fortress does make sense. Sometimes even if she's gone there, he covers her face, and other times even if he doesn't, it would make sense if he doesn't exactly know the geolocation. But if Batman is the one who knows it, then why does he not have the special red K crystals? This plan should go to Batman. Dying by the fortress? We gotta give it to the person who knows where the fortress is. As Superman shows his gratitude for Lois's quick thinking, if Lana could only see me now.
Lois sure deserves that super kiss. If those aliens had caught wise to her scheme, Superman would have received the kiss of death.
They're all just standing there watching her make out with him. This story comes across as more of a way to match the cover than a fully fleshed out story. You get to have Lois make out with all these members in a kind of semi-scandalous / humorous way, but then walk it back and try and make it heroic. So let's leave that awkwardness there and go back to our thought balloon that we put in the pocket. In that thought balloon, there's no mention of a secret plan or peril, and that would have been the place to put it if one wanted to have a bit more of a serious drama or mystery to this, seed the mystery a tiny bit more. That does not appear to have been the intent, though. The denouement makes this a bit of a weaker Lois story. Even though it is surprising, it just doesn't back it up, and it had opportunities to do so. The ending comes across of more of a aren't you surprised kind of ending, which I think is likely the case based on some of the letters I read later on. Now, of course, for some, the zany out of left field ways these stories could go, and Lois's shenanigans were / are part of the appeal. I'm often some in that regard. Just not this time. If they had just cut that eyeball on the vase and instead have Crypto have brought her a note from Superman or something, that would have landed better for me personally, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure for others, the secret eye and the idea of this hovering alien menace, it worked out. But you know what we never learned? Who is the best kisser? Probably Green Arrow. It's the only reason I can think of why Black Canary stays with him. Now, this does deliver on the cover promise, but it does have an error on the cover as well that some of you already caught, and that's that while this story features Lana inside, on the cover the woman is blonde, which would have indicated that it was Lucy, but it is meant to be Lana. And I know that because someone actually wrote in about it in Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane, number 31. We're gonna read some letters. Dear editor, on the cover of the November Lois Lane, you show Lana Lang as a blonde. Everybody knows she's a redhead. Don't tell me she's wearing a wig on the cover. Response. The artist who colored this cover is a gentleman, and everyone knows gentlemen prefer blondes. Seriously speaking, this was a major goof, and hundreds of eagle-eyed viewers like yourself are still spoofing us about it. And they're still doing so to this day. I'm so sorry. Actually, a couple of people wrote in specifically about this story from this issue, and someone wrote in who absolutely loved the ending, so let's share that one. Dear editor, I just want you to know how much I enjoyed the recent story, The Irresistible Lois Lane. From the very beginning, I thought Lois was really kissing Green Arrow, Aquaman, and Batman to gather material for her article. Was I surprised by your clever ending, in which we learned that she was kissing these heroes so that she could secretly transmit the red kryptonite particles, embedded in her lipstick, to Superman and help save his life. My congratulations to the entire staff for a swell story, and keep those stories about red kryptonite coming. I love them. We're glad you like our surprise endings. We have a great surprise story scheduled for the next issue of Lois Lane, a story called The Silver Coin of Fate. We challenge you to outguess us by figuring out the ending before the last page. Well, I could, editor, if you left actual clues to follow. I'm salty on editor's reply from 1961. But we can just guess whatever we want. Maybe that's part of the fun. Just what can we come up with? So what did we learn today? Sometimes you have to kiss your boyfriend's friends to save his life. Who do you think was the best kisser of these ones shown? And what did you guys think of this Lois outing? Was it truly a man-bait dress? Was this a fun story? Did it live up to what you were expecting based on that cover? Did you like the twist? Do you want to hear about Lorelei LaRue? Thanks so much for taking some time today to spend discussing comics with me. I always appreciate it. Thanks so much to Global Comics for sponsoring this video. Please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, hype, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you never miss a vid. As always, there'll be more videos coming soon. I'll see you there. Maybe my voice will be back to normal. We'll see. Bye-bye.